Hi, this is Mark Diaz for 2danimation101.com. In this lesson, I will talk about how to create a color palette. Before painting anything, I always suggest creating a color palette or color swatch, the way it's called inside Illustrator. Let's take this character in the screen. As you can see, this character has only 3 colors: the skin, the light color of the suit, and the dark brown. And I also created a darkened version of those same colors for the shadow. I will go into detail on how to give this finished look to your character designs, but for now, let's just learn this bit, the color palette. For this lesson, we will change the color of this hero or villain, it can be either one, into a blue suit, dark blue and light blue. All I need to do to create a new group of colors is go to the swatches panel. If you don't see the swatches panel, you can just go to the window menu and select swatches. And I just dropped that panel on top of the layers panel. Now, below that panel, you will see some icons. To create a new group, you need to press the folder icon. You can name the group if you want. I will leave it as is and press OK. This creates a new folder for the swatches. Now, I will create some colors and add them to this group. The first will be the skin. For that, I can just pick from this image using the eyedropper tool. You can pick it from the toolbar or press letter I. That's the eyedropper tool. I just click on the character's skin and the color is selected on the swatch. See? Now, just click and drag that color to the new group, and we have our first one. And to create the shadow version of this color, I can just double click on it from the swatch panel. And that brings up the color picker. I just select the darker version of that color and voila! I click and drag that color to the new group, and so on. I just pick a light blue, and drag it. Then a darker blue for the shadow. And then the dark blue for the suit. And the shadow for it. Okay? Simple. There. With the color palette, I can just select the light color of the suit with the white arrow tool. I'm holding Shift and clicking to add every part to the selection, and just select the light blue color from the swatches panel. Now the shadow. Just basically do the same. Select the part you need to change with the white arrow tool, and remember you can just Shift and click to add more shapes to the selection. And after you have everything selected, you just pick the new color from the color palette. And you're done. See? This was easy thanks to the minute we took creating a color palette in the swatches panel. You can also access those colors from the fill or stroke options. You might need to expand it a bit to see it. And that's it for this lesson. Now let's move to a very interesting feature needed for the overshoot drawing technique called expand appearance. See you there. Expand appearance. This feature is used in the overshoot drawing technique. Let me show you a couple of objects that are not expanded. As we saw in an earlier version, we can edit paths. And this big circle is also a path. We can change its form to any other form. And once we have the shape we want and are ready to lock, we can expand the appearance. Why would we want to do that? Well, one reason is to be able to paint it. If I activate the live paint, which will be covered in depth in the next lesson, for this guide right here, I just select it with the white arrow and press Ctrl-Alt-X. Or you can go to Object menu, Live Paint, Make. I'll get this warning. Before I press Yes, please notice that the stroke have variable width. Every stroke looks beautiful because They start thin and get thicker in the middle. That information is going to be lost once I press OK. See? Now the strokes look terrible. I don't like it. This is not acceptable for me. Let me undo that. One way to work around that is to expand the appearance. Here's how. You just go to Object menu and select Expand Appearance. As simple as that. And now, it's not a stroke anymore. Each part is a fill. Remember this from the earlier lesson? Now you know how to do it. Let's look at it closer. See? It's not a path. It's a fill. And if I apply the Live Paint function, selecting all the character with a white arrow and pressing Ctrl-Alt-X to apply the Live Paint, or you can go to the Object menu, Live Paint, Make. Now the drawing is ready to be painted. No errors, see? I can do the same with this object. Just select and go to Object, Expand Appearance. Bam! Easy. Now we have two expanded objects, two fills that I can move with the white arrow. Oops, I used the black arrow. Let me undo and pick the white arrow. There, I can move things with the Direct Selection tool. One last time for quick review and just for fun. Super easy. I selected with the white arrow, dragging a selection on that little sketch face. Then Object menu, Expand Appearance. Easy. Now, you might feel that there are too many vector points, and you're right. You can use the Smooth tool, which is located under the Pencil tool. Just click and hold. Or you can use another function to do it faster. It's called Simplify Curves. With the object selected, go to Object, Path, Simplify. I will leave the curve precision at 50%, the angle threshold at 0 degrees, and press OK. Bam! See how nice it looks now? Only the essential points are there. Nice. Now let's move to the next lesson in which we will learn more about the Live Paint feature. See you there. Live Paint. Okay, in this lesson we have a character that I drew and I used the overshoot technique and cleaned it up. This character has been already expanded and it's ready to be painted. I also created a color palette for your convenience. You can use it or you can create your own color palette. Okay, let's get started with this very quick lesson. First, make sure you have the working layer selected. That's very important. And now, let's activate the Live Paint feature. Just select the character with the white arrow tool and drag a selection over all the character. And you can either go to the Object menu, Live Paint, Make, or just press the shortcut, Ctrl-Alt-X. You can tell the object is ready to be painted because you get these options on the toolbar. And also because if you select the Paint Bucket tool, pressing letter K, that's the shortcut, or just going to the toolbar and under the Shape Builder tool, click and hold to reveal the Paint Bucket tool. And wait, let me deselect the character. Holding Control or Command on Mac and clicking outside to deselect it. When you hover the Paint Bucket tool over the character, you can see that areas are being highlighted. If you click, that area is painted with whatever color you have selected for the fill. If the Live Paint feature is not activated, let me undo a couple of times, you will see that the functions disappear and I can no longer paint on it. See? So just have it selected and press the shortcut Ctrl-Alt-X or go to Object, Live Paint, Make. You can deselect holding Control or Command on Mac and click on an empty space. And you are set to go. Let me color it very quickly. I just select the basic colors. I won't bother about the shadow colors, which are the ones next to each color. We'll just focus on the skin color for the skin, the dark reddish for the hair and eyebrows, the very light blue for the neck and folds of the shirt, then a light blue for the shirt, the dark gray for the buckle, the light gray for the belt, brown for the pants, and black for the shoes. There, simple enough, right? Now let's move to the next lesson, in which we will learn a bit more of the technique so we can add some shadows. See you there. Convert live paint into paths. Okay, so we have our colored character, right? It looks good, but it could be better. How? By adding some shadows. But before that, we need to convert all the painting, all our work, into paths. If I pick the white arrow tool and click on a part of this character, everything gets selected. See? I don't want that. I want to be able to select only the shirt so I can add shadow to it. To do that, I just have to click the expand button on the top toolbar. And now, this character is divided into paths. Let me deselect everything, clicking on a blank space with a white arrow. And now, I can select only the face, or the shirt, or the pants, and even move it to a side. But we don't want to undress him, do we? Yeah, let's keep this video friendly and for the whole family. So, as simple as that, let me undo to show you once again. With the object selected as live paint, just click on the expand button on the top toolbar and you're done. You can now use the white arrow tool to pick any part you want to edit and add shadow to it. Nice. That's it for this lesson. Now, before we move on to applying shadows, we will cover one very important topic: how to change the colors of your character. We will check that in the next lesson. See you there. Recolor artwork. Okay, so we know how to paint, and we were about to add shadows, but before we do that, I decided to add this very quick lesson: the recolor artwork feature. I have never used it, but it's good for you to know just in case you need it. So here it is. This is a way to change the color of your character. Just select the entire character. I'm using the white arrow tool to drag a selection over the whole character, and now you just click on the recolor artwork icon on the top toolbar. That opens the recolor dialog box. This can be useful if, for example, after you added some shadows, you want to darken the shadows. Or maybe I want to add another color for the hair. I could just select the reddish color of the hair, double click on the new color, and change it to a blonde color. I press OK, and boom, the change is made. I can change the color of the pants to a dark gray. See? Easy. Anyway, if you want to keep the changes, just click OK. I will click cancel because I'm happy with the colors I have. Now, the changes didn't apply. Like I said, I have never used it. But hey, you might find it very useful. I just like to plan things ahead of time, and when I change colors, I just select the parts with the white arrow tool and change them. But anyway, it's a good feature to know. It can be your secret weapon when all else fails. You know you have a card under your sleeve called Recolor Artwork. Now let's move to the next lesson, in which we will learn a way to add shadows to your character. Alright, see you there. Hi, this is Mark Diaz for 2danimation101.com. In this lesson, I will talk about the knife tool, a very little and powerful tool that can be used to add shadows to your characters. I won't cover how to shade a character, where to have the light source, where to add the shadows, light reflections, all of that. That has to do with photography, And we could probably create a course on that if you're interested. Just email me at suggestions@2danimation101.com to query about course ideas that you want to learn. Anyway, I will make little decisions to add the shadow where I think it looks correctly. What you do is this. First, you need all the live paint to be expanded. Just pick the white arrow tool and try to select some part of the character. Yep, it's expanded. Now, after selecting the white arrow tool, go on and select the knife tool. You can find it under the eraser tool. Just click and hold to reveal it. Now I'll zoom into the face and select it, okay? Oh, by the way, having the knife tool picked, I just hold Control or Command on Mac and click on the face. Pressing Control gave us the white arrow tool, which is what we want. So this is important. Check this out. If I had previously picked the black arrow and then the knife tool and used Control to select the face, everything gets selected because the last selector tool picked was the black arrow. So just make sure you first select the white arrow. This is important. First select the white arrow and then the knife. I Control click outside to deselect all, and now I can freely select the face. Now I will drag and try to draw an appropriate shadow for the face. Oh, and this is important. Start outside of your selection and then draw the shadow shape. There. Oh, by the way, I'm using a mouse, so don't worry. If you don't have a drawing tablet, you can use it, but as you can see, it's easy to do with a mouse as I'm doing it, okay? Now, I can just Control-click outside to deselect and Control-click on the part where I want the shadow. Look, if you just hover over the face, you can see that it's now divided. I will just Control-click on the left side to select it. And just pick the darker skin color from the color palette. Easy. Now let me add some light to the neck. Remember, start outside the selection and finish outside. Those are the two rules. Start outside the selection and finish outside the selection. Control-click outside, Control-click to select it, and change to the light skin color. There. That's how you add shadow. Now I will fast forward this to complete the process. It's super simple. You just Control-click the part you need to add shadow to and use the knife to cut it. Just remember to start outside the selection and finish outside. Now a tricky part can be the nose. In here, I need to at least cut from outside the black outline and finish outside the black line also. And then add a little eye to the nostril. Actually, having the light like that gives a very flat form to the nose, and I want it with a more rounded spherical shape. You can easily correct that by using the knife tool on the shadow and changing the color. See? Just remember that you need to first select the white arrow tool, then the knife, which is located under the eraser in the toolbar. And when you're cutting the paths, make sure you start outside the selection, or at least cross the black strokes. If anything comes out wrong, there is no problem because you can just as easily correct using the knife again. Okay, so there we have it. Like I said, to know where to add the shadows and how to shape your character and give it volume, you need to study a bit about lighting and shadows. That's a whole topic on its own. Okay, now congratulations! You just finished learning about the essential tools and features that you need to know to trace your character designs. Now, starting from the next module, we will cover a series of tutorials to trace a character from the sketch to the end result using the overshoot drawing technique. See you there!